Okay, so starting part 3, and I just gave myself a good hard shake after the end of part 2, and I realized that part of the reason why I was getting all shut down at the end of part 2 is because this is when I know that shit really started to pick up. And there's a lot of really fucking good stories. And so on the one hand, again, I have to keep reminding myself, I'm just leaving myself like the outline right now. I will come back and get deeper into the stories and get deeper into the experiences at another time. So that I keep having that fight. I don't want to leave anything out, but I have to because there's too much. So Palm Springs with my buddy Piper was just so amazing. Like, we had so much fun, and we went on hikes, and we went to Joshua Tree, and we had profound, beautiful experiences, and we did tarot readings, and plant medicine journey, and dreamed about so many things and created so many ideas. And man, we were going to take on the world in 2020. And this is like, one of my friends said, "You look like Sarah Connor in that photo." This is one of my favorites that I use a lot for my business because I feel like a total badass. But yeah, so many amazing experiences just from that trip. And while we were there is when news of the virus had started kind of coming around. People were starting to get stressed out. His business back at home was with family, and they were starting to really trip out and get worried. But there wasn't enough information yet, and he and I were just like, we'll figure it out when we get home. Everything's fine. It'll be a big deal for a while, and then it'll be fine. That's what we thought. So I'm seeing this grief process I was having around leaving my business. And there was a snow day. Oh my gosh. I went out for a drive to go do some crying. See, I have to, how am I going to speed through this? I started taking a lot of photos of my dog because I knew that I was going to be giving her up soon. And then let's see, this is March 25th. So, so March 13th, I was back in town from Palm Springs. I went out driving. It was a Friday, and I think I came back maybe on the 11th. I came back maybe on the 11th or the 12th from Palm Springs. Now I wish I could remember. I'll have to figure it out. But the 13th, I knew was the last time I was going to drive for a while. And while I was out, I could see how much the world had already changed. And talking to people and just really, really feeling the vibe. Basically, I like the world changed today. The paradigm has completely shifted. I had been home for a week. That's right. Paradigm has shifted. We live in a new world now. And I started actually saying that to people pretty like that weekend, and several of my friends got really angry with me, and they're like, "You're being ridiculous. You're overreacting." I think I might have even sent out a text to even my former business partner, and we weren't even speaking at the time. I sent it to like all kinds of people, and I was like, "Hey, things are going to get really weird for a while. I just have a really strong sense. Just know that we're going to come out okay. It's going to suck for a while, but we're going to be all right." And then here at the end of March, I was taking my sweetheart. I took him halfway to Seattle, and his family came down from there he has some chosen family up there, and they came down to get him. And he was going to go stay with them for the early stages of the quarantine. And we had no idea how long it was going to last. We thought maybe a few weeks or a month. And so I knew he'd be back, but we didn't know how long. So I was sad, but this is when I like wrote my final post for my other business as kind of a goodbye and to say, hey, this is where I'm going. And I actually ended up getting really, really sick after this for a couple of months. Most of the symptoms of my former illness resurfaced. I had extreme fatigue, brain fog, minimal organizational abilities. I was a mess. It hit hard and fast. But I was working with the people who were going to build the website. I got the website built by the end of March. They did, but I did my part too. And so I have all these beautiful images of like some screenshots from my website. This felt like a really profound day. I knew I needed to get outside. I needed to get to the sun. I didn't want anyone to come upon me, because I wanted to be naked in the sun. And it was April 8th. I think at this point I looked like a shit. I was definitely feeling it all. I hadn't slept much. I was having a hard time eating. I was exhausted, but it did feel good to get outside. Oh, this is like some smiles. I don't look quite so dead there. But having the sun on my body felt really good, and choosing like a clear cut to do this little photo shoot with myself and my dog was pretty funny. And okay, so there is part of me that knew I was strong. I like this one. I'm a badass. Yeah, but I also, yeah, man. Yeah. So, God, there's a lot of processing going on. There's a lot of notes. Yay, I have a lot of notes. Okay, I don't have a lot. How do I want to do this now? So March and April was letting go of a lot of things, letting go of a lot of relationships, people that I used to be very, very close with, choosing, to no longer be in connection with me, or me choosing no longer be in connection with them. Basically taking a break. The man, so I have my sweetheart that I've been seeing for quite some time. And then there was this other man that we were kind of exploring things. And we decided when the quarantine really hit that we're like, okay, we can't see each other anymore. So I'd stopped seeing him. And in these early stages of quarantine and into April, I was just hanging out, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I was just trying to figure shit out. And, it looks like it's April 26th that I went back to Centralia to pick my sweetheart back up. I got him back on April 26th. So he was gone just over a month. And then what follows is lots of pictures of him and being really excited to see him. And we went to the park and had a good time. He's like jumping through trees and we're just playing, just enjoying ourselves. It was really fun to have him in the house. Okay, this is May 1st. So I think it might be, I guess it looks like it was May 1st that I found my dog's retirement mommy. I had posted her on an adoption site that was for rehoming, and then I scrolled down a little bit, and there was this sweet image of this lovely looking older gal who's like, I'm looking for a medium-sized, mellow adult dog to grow old with me, spend each day together in my shop, nice walks, and treated like family. So I sent her a picture of my dog. I'm like, I'm rehoming her. It sounds like you two might be perfect. And we started talking and really, really hit it off. And I could tell so quickly that she was just such a perfect fit. So we agreed to a trial of, I think it was a week. But I knew I wasn't going to take her back, but just to make sure that they were a good fit, because I would much rather take the dog back than it not be a good fit. And but really, she was very concerned that I was gonna go back on the idea. Like, I'm not going back on this idea. I know it's what's best for her. And so I think it was like the first week of June. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of pictures here of her last day. Oh no, it was May 5th. I guess it was May 5th that I delivered her. So there's a whole another story just about my dog, and I took a lot of baths. And her new retirement mommy would send me pictures of her, and there's one of her in a little treat, and there's one of her looking at her. I mean, so she sent me stories and pictures pretty regularly, so I always kind of knew what was going on and how she was doing. It was really hard letting her go. I convinced my housemates. At this point, our house is, the housemates we were living with had changed drastically. Like right away, one of them moved out so he could be with his girlfriend. And then, one of my friends moved into his room. And my sweetheart came back from Seattle area. And so he was there. And then my regular housemate, who had been there the whole time. And so like, let's go play. So we went out for a flower walk, and we're just climbing stop signs and, dancing with each other in the streets, and it's so fun. It's such a good time. And I just took a bunch of pictures because I know eventually I'll write stories about it, or about these kind of activities. Yeah. Okay. So now let's see, where am I at? Okay. Because this is probably a good stopping point through May. There was a lot of loving and sweetness for all of this period of time. This is May 22nd. Aloha and her retirement mommy. She just took her to get her groomed, and Aloha's still kind of stiff in that picture, but I know she's easing into it. The unicorn riding a bike down the street. So many adventures that I want to tell all the stories, but I will. My friend, one of our friends plays piano, and he would play piano every Tuesday evening. And so we'd project him up onto the wall, and we'd watch his projection up on the wall. Gosh, it's not coming in very well. So we'd all, lay there and cuddle and watch. And that part was fun. Some of the togetherness that we got to experience there for a little while was pretty fun. Well, this must be when the June 3rd. So we were at a rally. Like on the side of the road, so that we could easily stay distant. Yeah, but still, I guess not a rally, a protest. All right, so I guess that did a little better. I know I'm missing so many really profound stories, but what am I gonna do? Things kind of take a turn around my birthday, June 13th. It was pretty, I don't know. Okay. And I really kind of skipped over, so didn't I? That weekend of March 13th, I drove, and then I heard from all of my clients, all of my virtual assistant clients, that I could know by that Monday. I had heard by everybody that we have to let you go. one of them, most of her clients were in California, and California was pretty hard hit by the tourism trade ending suddenly. And another one was traveled a lot to give keynote speeches and stuff to organizations, and all of his work canceled. The babysitting job that I had been doing pretty regularly also had to end because she was in healthcare, and she couldn't have anyone else in her house, and I couldn't be around her. So I had 6 jobs on the morning of March 13th, and by that following Monday, I had 0. I had 0. But I just figured I'll figure it out. Something will work out. And I remember thinking as I got sicker and sicker, and less and less energy, I was like, okay, well, what can I do from here? There's still got to be something that I can do. And so I read stories to my channel, of the books that I wrote about my childhood. I actually created the Catalyst calls idea came to birth in that time frame. We started actually practicing them, I think, by May or June. I did. I don't know why I'm saying we, but so I still was creating an awful lot and doing an awful lot, even from mostly in bed. But okay, I think I'm going to end here, and I'll come back. Oh, and there's a little bit more I want to say about the Aloha transition. My daughter and my housemate and I all drove out to the gal's house together to deliver her. And I had been out there. I had seen it. I, talked with her in person. But my daughter hadn't met this woman, and of course wanted to say goodbye to Aloha. And my housemate came for moral support. And of course I was crying, and it was difficult, but also I knew it was what was best. And when Ainsley said, "Oh, Aloha and the gal have the same energy. They're going to get along so well. This is a really good idea," I felt a lot better. But I really miss my dog. It's so cute. I got her when she was a baby, so had her whole life. All right, time to end here, and I will pick this back up as soon as I can. Talk to you later. Bye.